All right, so we will start as we usually start the morning with introducing ourselves to each other, reminding each other of our names, where we are actually sitting in the world right now. And I guess the question I want to ask you this morning with your introduction is if in a sentence or two, say what does the idea of healing mean to you? And I know a sentence or two is short, but I picked poems that relate to the healing process this week. So your name, where you are, and just a few words about what healing means to you. I think I think healing for me this morning, and just now in life is a lot about stillness and quiet and allowing what needs to happen to happen. Well, thank you, all of you. So I'm actually going to read two different poems about healing. Um, I'm just trying to decide. I had thought I was going to read them one after another, but I'll read the first one and then so what we'll do is I'll read each one and we'll just respond to like what idea from this poem jumps out at you or you feel connected to. This first poem is called Therapy by John Wright, who was a doctor at the University of Washington. Um, who I have learned wrote his first poem at age 59. So Eric Miller and you are right on target. And he wrote his first poem at 59, and now he's written a number of books related to his experience as a doctor, but and what that relates to is healing. So this is written to one of his patients, Philip. It's called Therapy to Philip. You attribute my recovery to nortriptyline, its effects on neurotransmitters, on the amygdala. You barely nod towards your worth, insisting on blood levels, on a therapeutic dose, while I credit half our success to pear trees blossoming white beyond your left shoulder, to the wisteria, its pink flowers hanging lush and fragrant over the portico, to the warmth of your hand. Is there an image or an idea or a word in that that jumps out at you?
Well, I like the mutuality of the healing, you know.
Yeah.
Pear trees blossoming white beyond your left shoulder.
I like the concept that healing can be had from enjoying and partaking of the beauty of nature.
I like the warmth of your hand
Mhm.
image as supporting healing.
Yeah.
I actually like the line you attribute my recovery to nortriptyline, the way he broke up the syllables.
I think for me, this poem, the idea of these Western medicines that are supposed to be doing our healing, and yet there may be a small part of like such a bigger picture of what is really doing the healing. All right, I'm going to read this second poem called Medicine. So we've gone from therapy to medicine, um, by Alice Walker.
Ah,
Grandma sleeps with my sick grandpa so she can get him medicine to stop the pain. In the morning, clumsily I wake them. Her eyes look at me from underneath his withered arm. The medicine is all in her long, unbraided hair. I'm going to read that one again. Grandma sleeps with my sick grandpa so she can get him medicine to stop the pain. In the morning, clumsily, I wake them. Her eyes look at me from underneath his withered arm. The medicine is all in her long, unbraided hair.
medicine of human touch, huh? Um,
Is that for me that just extraordinary little image of her eyes look at me from underneath his withered arm, so entangled.
I love the coupling of his withered arm and then her long unbraided hair.
I love the idea of in between the lines, the idea of a long-term relationship and being together, uh, being a healing force.
I like the image of the child finding out the truth about what the medicine is.
yes. Mm. Or interpreting it. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's this other really beautiful parallel between the first paragraph and that. There's this line that just doesn't have a lot of weight in the first poem, but when you read it next to the second poem, in the first poem he says, "You barely nod towards your worth." And in the second poem, Grandma knows. She knows what her worth is.
I love, for me, the paintings that get painted, the images from such few words. We get these incredible pictures of a whole other reality. So I'm going to suggest as our prompt that we either use what is medicine to you or what is healing to you. You all had beautiful images when we did our introductions. Um, so, if you want to use a specific line as a prompt of, you know, the medicine is or therapy is, but really anything sort of related to that, the medicine is or healing is, just allow the thoughts, feelings, words to come through you, and we will write for 4 minutes. So if you want to mute yourself while you're writing, um, and the bell will ring in 4 minutes.
Well, that makes a point.
What?
That certainly made a point.
Would anyone like to share what has come through them in these few minutes? So I'm going to read one more poem by Mark Nepo. And again, as I just invite you to listen for a phrase or idea that resonates for you. This poem is called Accepting This. Yes, it is true. I confess. I have thought great thoughts and sung great songs. All of it rehearsal for the majesty of being held. The dream is awakened when thinking, I love you. And life begins when saying, I love you. And joy moves like blood when embracing others with love. My efforts now turn from trying to outrun suffering to accepting love wherever I can find it. Stripped of causes and plans and things to strive for, I have discovered everything I could need or ask for is right here in flawed abundance. We cannot eliminate hunger, but we can feed each other. We cannot eliminate loneliness, but we can hold each other. We cannot eliminate pain, but we can live a life of compassion. Ultimately, we are small living things awakened in the stream, not gods who carve out rivers. Like human fish, we are asked to experience the meaning in the life that moves through the gill of our heart. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go. Accepting this, we can do everything and go anywhere.
It's very dense.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very dense poem to me.
Mm-hmm.
In flawed abundance.
I love that line too.
I like the line, my efforts now turn from trying to outrun suffering to
Yeah.
accepting love wherever I can find it.
And joy moves like blood. And meaning in the life that moves through the gill of our heart.
Yeah, the gill of our heart, small human fish.
I like nothing to do, nowhere to go. Can do everything and go anywhere.
The majesty for the, what is it? The rehearsal for the majesty of being held.
That's a good line.
So let's either take a line or a word that jumped out at you, or else you can use accepting this. And we'll just do a 3-minute write. And if there's some other word or idea that jumps out at you, just go with that.
Could you repeat the line about the gill of the heart,
Sure.
please?
Yeah. Like human fish, we are asked to experience meaning in the life that moves through the gill of our heart.
Thank you.
So remembering that nothing has to be perfect or even how we think it should be. We'd love to invite people to share some of what was written. Well, thank you as always for creating this magical web with words that we create when we come together in this magical, mysterious circle on a screen each time. It continues to blow my mind. It just, it's just, here we are in in a few minutes, people come through with such powerful words and images that I know for me keep me uplifted all week. So I'm so grateful to all of you for this. And again, if you have something that has come through during this session that you want to fine tune and send to us so that we can share it with others, we love that. And feel free to keep letting yourselves write during the day or week. And yeah, now that the days are getting slightly shorter, but it is still so beautiful. So enjoy these beautiful summer days and stay safe, stay healthy. I look forward to seeing you all again soon, and thank you.